All right, let's go. It's time for this webinar. Thank you, everybody, for joining me live. I see we have a good showing. It's my blessing to be here to serve you today. So thank you so much for spending some time with me today. Super excited to dive into today's content and today's webinar. Apologize for the mess in the background. I'm doing some redesigns in my office, and I've got some new bookcases, 2 of them actually. That's just one of the boxes that I've got to put together. But hey, this is a window into running a 2-time Inc. 5000 company from home. So my name is Josh Marsden. I'm a 2X Inc. 5000 winner. I'm also an MBA graduate. I'm also an international best-selling author. I'm super excited to dive in to help you be able to buy businesses and acquire cash flow and build wealth. I believe that this is arguably like the number one skill that everybody should learn, because it's the skill that can move the needle fastest versus just about anything else that you can do. So this is going to be powerful for you. Now, before we dive into the content for today, I'm gonna take a few minutes, let people come, because usually we get people joining a little late, so we'll wait just a little bit. So before we dive in, let me know in the chat which state and or country that you're joining us from. So let me know in the comments. I want to make sure that's working. So go ahead. Carlos, thank you for chiming in. Appreciate it, man. But yeah, go to the comments. Let me know what state, what country that you're joining me from before we dive in today. I'm going to give everybody basically about 5 minutes before we get started. And this way we can get more people joining, although, we're up and we're well above our what we expected today, which is amazing. So, yeah, thanks for being here. Let's dive in. So I've got Prescott, Arizona being represented. That's amazing. Awesome. I'm in Arizona myself, the Phoenix area. I've got Ron from Idaho. Thank you for being here. Idaho is beautiful. I love it up there. And barbacoa. Wow. Like, that's one of the best steaks I've ever had. Anybody, if you ever go to Boise, Idaho, go to barbacoa. They serve you a steak on a hot stone. And the stone's hot for a reason, to keep the steak cooking and warm. And so every bite of that steak is perfect, like warm, juicy, melts in your mouth. One of the best steaks I've ever had. So hats off to barbacoa in Boise. And then we've got Avery from Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Thank you, Avery, for being here. Appreciate it. It's amazing. All right. Everybody else chime in, get into the comments. Let me know where you're joining me from. And we're about to dive in and get started here in a minute. Might as well get some water, because I know I'm going to be talking quite a bit. Okay, another question for you guys too. How long have you guys been thinking about buying a business? How long have you been looking into it? Let me know how long it's been in the comments. All right. Okay, looks like we got 5 months. We got 2 years. We got 1 year. Just getting started. Okay, cool. All right. Great. Okay, guys. Well, here, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let me know that you can see it, and then we are going to dive into today's content. So just let me know when you can see it. I want to make sure everybody can see it clearly. Perfect. All right. Okay. Can you guys see my screen? Let me know if you can see my screen. Give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. Nice. Yeah, I love hearing that, Ron. So Ron, and he's going to do this because anybody that takes action is going to manifest what they want. Ron says he's running a company now, looking to start building a cash flowing business portfolio outside of the company he's already running. That's awesome. That's amazing. One of the smartest moves you can make. Okay. Yes, you could see it. Thank you, Avery, for chiming in. You've been thinking about this for 6 months. Great. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. All right, guys. Okay. So today's presentation's how to buy a cash flowing online business in the next few months. And this is without starting from scratch or risking your life savings. Because what's the point of that, right? So welcome to today's presentation. Now, before we begin, shut down any distractions, turn off your phone notifications, close those extra browser tabs. Give this your full attention for the next, it might take up to 90 minutes, but usually this runs about 60, 75 minutes with Q&A. So give this your full attention. Treat this like the class you can't miss because of the impact it can have on you. Okay. So, do away with your phones, turn off your watches, even, Apple watches, and just get super focused because this could be very powerful for you. And this is what you'll be shown today. You'll be shown how to buy a cash flowing online business, even with no experience, limited capital, and no deal pipeline. We'll go from 0 deals to owning a cash flowing online business in 4 months or less. This can literally lead to that. And again, no experience needed, creative financing available, proven evaluation frameworks. Okay, and here are some of our businesses. These are businesses my company owns, and if you were to zoom in, you're going to see a lot of cheddar, so to speak. There's literally over 25 million in sales represented from these companies that we own at my company, ARM5 Formula Company. So this is stuff that we've been doing. This isn't me just saying, "Hey, you can do this," even though I haven't. I have. I've built a 2-time Inc. 5000 company over the last few years. We've bought 19 companies, and we have a small portfolio out of that now. We don't have all 19 anymore. We learned a lot in the process. We failed forward. That's what you want to do as an entrepreneur is, take educated risk, make decisions, take action, learn every step of the way. You're going to make mistakes. Everybody's human. And then you grow, and then you get better and better and better. And now we have a very successful, rock solid process when it comes to buying a business, when it comes to managing a business, growing a business. And that's why, we've been an Inc. 5000 company twice already over the last 2 years. And that's also why we're currently on track to take our company public later this year as well. Okay, so the proof is real. You saw the screenshots, real revenue, real deals, real results. So imagine what could happen to your portfolio if you had the same exact system I use, but simplified and structured so anyone can follow it. So stay until the end. I've got something super special that's going to make this even easier for you. All right, let's dive in. So let me just quickly introduce myself. My name is Josh Marsden, and I've been an entrepreneur now for 13 years. I started my company in early 2013. First 9 years, I was running my company as a marketing agency. I literally helped thousands of e-com businesses scale and grow through coaching, agency services, online events. I published a few books on Facebook advertising for e-commerce. One was an international bestseller during that time. I was seen or heard in popular podcasts or published in the media a few times as well during that time frame. And then going into 2022, I transitioned my business. I stopped selling services and I started buying businesses, and I started building my own portfolio. And that's what we've been doing ever since. And now we're working on taking a company public that's classified as a agentic AI first e-commerce aggregator. And we're shooting for the moon with this. We've got $1 billion market cap goal by 2029. And hey, if we get anything close to that, that's phenomenal. That helps us, helps our investors make a lot of money. And that's why we're doing what we're doing. And I started just like you. I was taught the traditional route. I was taught to get an education, get a job, do well in a career, move up the ladder. And I did that for quite some time. And then I had an ultimatum back in early 2013 where a new employer told me I would have to change my schedule with my son, who was 3 at the time, in order to stay at that company. I decided to put all my time and attention into starting up a business, and the rest is history. So I won't go on and on about me. If you want to hear more about me, just go to YouTube, type in Josh Marsden, go to any podcast app and type in Josh Marsden, and you'll find interviews. You'll find my story on there. And this week you learn more about how I got started and the journey along the way as well, because I've had podcast interviews, I think since like 2014, published online. So as I mentioned before, I've had 19 business acquisitions. These are all e-commerce businesses, direct-to-consumer, Shopify, Amazon. I've had over 30 million in portfolio sales, as you saw in the screenshots I showed you, since 2022. And this isn't revenue for clients. This isn't managed spend. This is literally sales. This is sales across the board, total sales. Okay. I've also raised over 8.2 million since 2022 through digital marketing and webinars. As I mentioned before, I've been recognized twice on the Inc. 5000. But here's what matters most. It's not just about my results. It's about whether this system works for other people like you too. And multiple students have closed deals, regular people who follow the ARM5 process and bought their first online business. So it's not about me being special. It's about the system, not me, the system being special, the process. And today I'm going to hand you that system. So here's a quote that I like that I've used. It proves that this isn't about me being special. It's about the system being special. So here are some real student results. This way you don't just take my word for it. Let me show you some real stories from people just like you. So I'm going to, last time I showed this, it didn't play. So I really want to make sure this plays. So I'm going to take this off screen. I'm going to put another one on. Okay, let me know that you guys can hear it.
Hi, I'm Jason Decker, and I am the owner of This Silly Girl's Kitchen, where I got the help from Team ARM5, and I am incredibly grateful I did. I was your typical rat race guy working in automotive for 26 years, a couple days off a month, not spending time with family. Every story you can dream up was pretty much the life I was living. And I just decided there had to be another way. So with the team at ARM5's help, I was able to buy my first business. And it literally took 4 months for when I started till me finalizing the documents on my asset purchase order. And I'll tell you this, I got a Harvard education on what it takes to buy a business. I got a Harvard education on the legalese, and it's a lot of work. So if you don't plan to do work and you think that's just a layup, well, that's not it. But the good part is you have the freedom over your time and your success. And that's what this system helped provide me with. I did the work, and am doing the work and will continue to do the work because I want the company to have massive success. But at the end of the day, I really have to thank the guys from ARM5 because they helped me out tremendously. They held my hand along the way, which is exactly what I needed. And I'm grateful I made the decision I did to join ARM5. So thanks, Josh, and especially thanks to Jeff because he was absolutely outstanding, holding my hand through this, teaching me as much as he did. He was not only has become a friend, he's become a mentor, and I am incredibly blessed to have both Josh and Jeff in my life. Thanks.
All right, guys. So that's Jason. He literally changed his life joining the program, buying a business. I went from grinding as an auto sales manager for the last 15, 20 years, I believe, making good money too, but losing relationships with his daughters, with his ex-wife. And now he owns his own time. He owns his destiny. He owns a business that is supporting him and doing more and growing as well. So let me show you another one here. This one is
Hi
Dirk.
everyone, I'm Dirk Patrol, and I want to talk to you about why I joined the ARM5 Formula Acquisition Program. One of the biggest reasons I joined the ARM5 Formula is that I work a normal 9-to-5 job. I go to work, I come home, I pay my bills, and I find that at the end of the week, most of the money that I've made at work goes out to spending bills like everyone else does, going to the same program. And like everybody else, it's a grind that everyone has to go through. Another reason why I joined is because I always wanted to buy my own business. I always wanted to be able to do that, but I lacked the knowledge or the funds to be able to do that. Now granted, I joined this ARM5 Formula program with zero money to be able to do anything, to be able to buy a business, to have nothing. I just took very little of what I had and I bought into this program. And since then, I've joined, I have learned the knowledge of what it means to how to look at a company, how the questions to ask, and what to look for in a e-commerce business. And I have learned that joining the ARM5 formula, and Josh and his team have taught me this. Since then, I am at the process of buying my very first business. And the business is making over $1.2 million a year, averaging over $100,000 a month, and making $20,000 net profit. And guess what? I had put in zero money of my money into this acquisition. And that is what Josh and his team have taught me and given me the confidence in the future. And since then, I am looking forward to a more brighter future for myself and for my family in order to be able to do the things that I want. And it's all about because of what I am doing now, joining this program. So I hope that you will take the chance that, like I did, to join this program and to learn from Josh and his team. And one day you will be able to buy your own business and learn what it means to be an entrepreneur. Everybody, you have yourself a great day, and I hope to join you. Hope you join this program, and I'll be seeing you guys around.
All right, so let's get the presentation back. All right, guys, you just heard from two real-world people that had no background in e-com, no background in business ownership, and they've literally both changed their lives. We've got many others as well. So, there's other people that have done this. You can do it too. There's no reason why you can't. And that's why I show that up front early during today's webinar. So here's the typical ROI breakdown. This is literally a conservative example of a first-time acquirer. So anybody coming into this program, this is basically what you can expect at minimum by going through the program. Okay, on average, you're going to find a business that's maybe doing 150,000 and 50,000 a month in revenue, 15,000 a month in profit, and the price is 150,000. And you're going to put maybe 0 to 30,000 down at most. More than likely, with a price like this, you'll be able to buy this business for 0 down or very close to it. Or there's other ways to creatively structure the deal. This way, you don't have to spend any money out of pocket to buy a business like this. And this is fully financed through one of our lending partners. Or like I said, you put maybe a little bit of cash down and the rest is on seller financing, or ideally an earnout, which I can explain what that means. And then after that, you have 10,000 to 15,000 per month in profit after the acquisition. So we're talking going from day 0 to day 1. On day 1, you have that much monthly profit coming in and adding to your cash flow situation. Okay, so it's immediate cash flow on day 1 of ownership, which right away you now are recouping your investment into the program, literally. And then it's all ROI after that, all positive ROI after that. And then the annual profit in this example is about 180,000 a month. That's 15,000 per month times 12. And so now you have an annual income stream that literally beats most jobs. 180,000 a month in annual profit from your business coming to you. And then after we work with you and we help you scale it up to, let's just say 30,000 a month. We help you just double it at minimum. Now that business is worth 1.26 million when you go to sell it. And we can obviously help you do that because we've been an active buyer in the market. We've bought many businesses. We've looked at probably thousands of businesses. We know what to look for, what not to look for. We know what characteristics to bake into a business to be able to maximize the value of your exit opportunity, because this is what can really change your life, is getting a 7+ figure sale and wire into your account. We can help you do all that. And this is literally like the average outcome of anybody that comes in the program. And it could be greater than this depending on your resources, your buy box, etc. Okay. This is just literally the bare minimum. Okay. So a few stats here. There are over 1 million boomer owned businesses expected to sell by 2035. And 48% of boomer owners plan to exit within 3 years. And then there's 10 trillion, that's right, in private business assets coming to the market. It's called the silver tsunami. And here's a snapshot of my portfolio. So as I mentioned before, I focus on e-commerce brands, Shopify, Amazon, direct-to-consumer brands that sell directly through their online store, all acquired using the exact same 5-step system I'm about to share with you today. And each business was acquired with creative financing. Most required little to no money out of pocket, and all are managed with lean teams and proven systems. And these aren't outliers. These are normal people who followed the system that you just saw earlier with Jason and Dirk and got results. Every single one started exactly where you are right now. So who is this for? This is for professionals and career changers. You want to own a cash flowing online business without years of trial and error, and you're just ready for a new path like I was back in early 2013. You want to escape the rat race. Or you're an investor seeking better returns. You're tired of 7% stock market returns and want the 30 to 50% returns yearly possible in online businesses. Or you're an entrepreneur who wants to skip the startup phase. You don't want to spend 2 to 3 years building something from scratch. You want to buy something that already works. And you're also a coachable action taker. You have capital to deploy, or you're willing to explore creative financing and you're ready to follow a proven process. This will take effort. It will take time. It will take work. But we're with you every step of the way. And if you meet us halfway, then you're going to get to the finish line, and you're going to get to the finish line faster than you realize. So this is not for everyone. If you don't fall into that category, if you can't meet us halfway, then this is not for you. This isn't for get-rich-quick seekers. So if you're looking for overnight money with zero effort, this isn't it. Buying a business is real work. And anything in life that's worth anything takes effort, takes work. I tell my son the same thing. You're not willing to do due diligence. If you're not willing to invest time in learning and evaluating deals, this won't help you. You want passive income with zero involvement. If you just want to flip businesses with zero involvement, or you aren't willing to follow a systematic process, this isn't for you. Okay. So let's talk about your commitment. I need 3 things from you before we go any further on today's webinar. Number 1, keep an open mind. Some of this might seem too good to be true. Creative financing, buying with little money down, but trust the process until you see the math. Number 2, be ready to take action. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Actions come from the decisions you make right now. If you put off making decisions, nothing ever happens. The difference between success and failure is speed of implementation. Be open to getting help. If what I show you makes sense, be open to investing in yourself. That's the safest investment you can make, is investing in yourself. And I'll share how you can work with me directly. Okay. So type a yes in the comments if you commit to everything I just went over. Okay, let's get real. You might be thinking, Josh, you've bought 19 businesses and have done 30 million plus in sales since 2022. You must be some kind of genius. I'm not a genius. This is where I started. I didn't come from money. I didn't have connections in the business world. I started with nothing but a willingness to learn and take action. My first business purchase, well, it wasn't glamorous. I made mistakes, as I mentioned earlier. I overpaid for some of the early businesses I bought. I didn't know what due diligence really meant, but I learned, and that experience became the foundation for everything that came after. And once I found the right process, everything changed. I developed a systematic approach to evaluating, financing, and transitioning into online businesses. That first painful experience turned into a repeatable system. And then I did it again and again and again. Again, 19 businesses that we've purchased, 30 million plus in sales since 2022, 2-time Inc. 5,000 company. And I didn't have any advantages you don't have. In fact, you have a massive advantage I didn't have when I started. You have someone who's already made the mistakes and built the system for you. So here's a quote I like. Success in business acquisition is not about being the smartest person in the room. It's about having the right system and taking action fast. Okay, let's go over the big picture. Let's start with the full map. I want you to see the big picture before we zoom into each piece. What ARM5 actually stands for. ARM5 is the marketing engine that makes these businesses valuable. The 5 profit amplifiers are the levers you pull post-acquisition to multiply growth. Okay, you have authority. You're building a business that already has trust and credibility. You have reciprocity. The audience already wants to buy. You have monetization. The revenue engine's already running. And you have the 5 profit amplifiers with retention, conversion, pricing, efficiency, and traffic. Okay. And the ARM5 acquisition method, this is our system. This is our process for buying businesses. So number one, evaluate. Find deals worth buying using proven criteria. Number two, finance. Structure creative deals with little to no money down. Number three, transition. Take ownership without disrupting the business. Number four, optimize. Apply the 5 profit amplifiers to grow value. And then number 5, scale. Build a portfolio of cash flowing assets. So here's a counterintuitive approach. Most people think you need years of experience, millions in capital, and a huge network. And the truth, you need a proven system, the right guidance, and the willingness to take action. You don't need money to buy a business, really. You really literally don't. There's so many different ways to buy a business with no money out of your own pocket. You don't need years of experience, especially when you're working with us, leaning on us. We've got the experience you could lean on. You're not going through this alone. You're going through this step by step with us every step of the way. And you don't need a huge network. You just don't. So that's a lot of misconceptions that I hear or I've seen over the last few years. So what makes this different? Most programs teach theory. I give you a system. Other approaches hand you a book about M&A, mergers and acquisitions, say figure it out yourself. It's theory-based generic advice, and now you're on your own. The ARM5 system, we put you in the passenger seat with us. We turn on the GPS. We say, follow my lead. And then we'll have you closing deals literally within months, maybe even weeks. I'm not teaching from theory. I've personally bought 19 online businesses and I've done 30 million plus in portfolio sales since 2022. So you're learning from someone who does this every single day. You'll see real deals, real numbers. I'm not just going to tell you what to do. I'm going to show you real deal structures, real profit and loss statements, and real evaluation frameworks from my actual portfolio. And creative financing changes everything. The parts that used to require hundreds of thousands in cash is now possible with seller financing, earnouts, and creative deal structures. And this is also designed for first-time buyers, not people who already own a portfolio, not people with mergers and acquisition experience, people buying their first online business. And you just saw that with Dirk and also with Jason. So why now? Well, we're in the middle of the greatest wealth transfer in history. Baby boomers own millions of businesses, and as they retire, they need to sell. This is creating the largest wave of business transfers that we've ever seen literally in history. And the global e-commerce market is at 6.8 trillion. It's a massive and growing market with thousands of businesses changing hands every year. And there's literally 70,000 plus online businesses listed for sale on websites like Flippa, Empire Flippers, Website Closers, Searchlight, Biz Buy Sell. The list goes on and on. And that's literally at any given time. And that's not just the public market. Private deals multiply this number. So before, the traditional path was start from scratch, 2 to 3 years, 90% failure rate for startups, spend 50,000 to 200,000 building, and no revenue possibly for months. After, with our method, you buy an existing business within 4 months or less, proven revenue from day one, creative financing, little to no money down to acquire that business, and you have cash flow, you have profits, you have additional income immediately after you buy the business. So this window, it's open right now. The opportunity exists. Seller financing is common. The market is still fragmented, but institutional money is starting to wake up to online business assets like the BlackRocks of the world, other private equity firms. They're starting to buy up businesses, and the speed is picking up. I can see that. But you can't do it alone. Without the right process, the right evaluation framework, the right deal structures, the right transition plan, you'll end up buying a lemon or losing your deposit. And I want to prevent that from happening to you. So there's a proven process here. And also you get expert support with 19 acquisitions of experience compressed into a system that anyone can follow. That's what makes right now the best time in history to buy your first online business. And today I'm sharing my 3 biggest secrets to buying cash flowing online businesses. I'm going to walk you through each one step by step. Let's start with the first. First off, here's a quote that I like. I didn't invent business buying. I just systematized it so anyone, regardless of experience or capital, can do it safely and profitably. Okay, so here's secret number 1, the evaluation methodology. You don't need to find the deal. You need to know which deals are worth buying. There's plenty of deals out there. And most people are stuck in which deal mode. They spend weeks scrolling marketplaces, looking at hundreds of listings, falling in love with ideas instead of numbers. And they either buy the wrong business or they never buy at all due to decision paralysis. So, what people typically think is, I need to find the perfect deal. I need to look at hundreds of listings. I need months of research. I need years of mergers and acquisitions experience. And the truth, you need a proven evaluation framework. The right system filters literally in minutes. Due diligence follows a checklist, and the math tells you everything. So don't be the type of person that thinks on the left. Like, for example, there's been people that I've connected with that are just stuck in their fear-based mindset, and they're stuck in the left here. But really, they could be on the right, but they've got to get themselves out of that decision paralysis and that fear-based mindset. So here's the ARM5 evaluation framework. Step 1, check the SDE, seller discretionary earnings. Is the profit real? Okay. Poke holes into it, ask lots of questions, really find out if the profit figures you're seeing in the financial reports are real. Number 2, assess stability. Is the revenue consistent or is it volatile? If over the last 12 months, for example, if you see more than 3-ish negative net profit months, and you also see maybe a negative net profit for the last 12 months, well, that's a red flag, walk away. If you see revenue declining, possibly walk away. You want to see a business that's either stable, which isn't ideal, growing is more ideal. If it's stable and it's a very tenured business, it still could be a very good opportunity. Step 3, evaluate sustainability. Will this business exist in 2 years? Tenure is a good measure of that. Growth is a good measure of that as well. The market that it's in, that's a little bit of a good measure for it. But really, if it's a good brand, it's a good business, it's tenured, it's growing, that's going to tell you that the business is going to continue to do well. Step 4, test scalability. Can you grow it with the 5 profit amplifiers? With our help, yes. Okay, so SDE, the number that matters most. If you didn't know this already, it means sellers discretionary earnings. This is the true profit after all owner benefits. So if the owner works 80 hours a week and funds ads on personal credit cards, that's not a business, it's a job, okay? So here's a quote from Dirk, for example. I joined the ARM5 Formula program with zero money and learned how to evaluate e-commerce businesses. I have now acquired my first business doing over 1.2 million per year, and I'll finish this, and 350,000 a year in profit, way more than he makes in his full-time job. Okay. So see how simple that is? No fancy degree required. Just follow the framework, check the numbers, and the math tells you whether to move forward or walk away. So 3 out of 4 deals I passed on using this exact framework. Knowing what to say no to is just as important as knowing what to buy. This framework does both. Okay, so before, without a system, emotional decisions based on gut feel, overpaying because you don't know the real value, missing hidden liabilities until it's too late, and months of wasted time on dead-end deals. Okay, but now with the ARM5 framework, data-driven scoring in under 30 minutes, you know the exact fair market value before you offer. Red flags surface automatically in due diligence, so you don't waste your time, you waste your energy, or waste your money. And also, you only spend time on deals that pass the filter. Okay, number 2, this is secret number 2, creative financing. You could buy an online business with little to no money down. I've done it many, many, many times. Okay. Most people think you need hundreds of thousands in cash. I thought so too at one point, years ago. They assume business buying is only for the wealthy. I thought that too. For people with millions in the bank, for Wall Street types, I definitely thought that too. I had a limited mindset. And that's the biggest myth in this industry. Luckily, I broke through this years ago. Thank God that God put me on a path towards business, towards ownership, where I could grow, where I could learn. And I broke through that years ago. And you could do the same as well if that is you, okay? What people think, I need 500,000 or more in cash. I need perfect credit and an SBA loan. Banks are the only option. I can't afford to buy a business. But the truth is, creative financing changes everything. Seller financing aligns incentives. Many deals need little to no money down, and the business pays for itself. That's the truth, okay? Now, why I choose seller financing over SBA loans? I'm not a fan of SBA loans. For one, speed. Close in weeks, not months of bank bureaucracy. I mean, who wants to deal with that, right? Flexibility, custom terms that work for both parties. You want a shared risk deal, not a deal that puts all the risk on you because you're using an SBA loan to buy the business and pay for a high percent of the value of the business. Alignment, the seller stays invested in your success. Again, shared risk deal. They get paid as you succeed. And then accessibility, no massive down payments, no personal collateral requirements. I never recommend a personal guarantee on business transactions, okay? And on top of that, there's no reason why you can't buy a business with a low down payment or a down payment that doesn't come from your pocket, which I can explain. And here's how seller financing works. The seller acts as the bank. You make installment payments over time instead of paying up front. The seller stays aligned with your success. It's a win-win. Most beginners never negotiate. So here's a quote from Jason that you just heard from earlier. I spent 26 years working in automotive, stuck in the rat race and barely seeing my family. With the help of the ARM5 team, I was able to buy my first business in about 4 months. So see how accessible that is? No $1 million bank account required, no lengthy SBA loan process, just a smart deal structure that works for everyone involved. $0 was my out-of-pocket on my first seller finance acquisition, literally. And it was 100% seller financing, paid back entirely from the business's own profits over 24 months. So I can do it, you can do it. So traditional buying is you need $100,000 to $500,000 in savings or an SBA loan. You also need 6 to 12 months of bank paperwork. Also, you need a personal guarantee and or collateral to be able to do this. And banks say no to 80% of online businesses. They prefer brick and mortar that have liability and overhead and real estate possibly attached and inventory attached, which is just liability for you. Creative financing. You start with little to no money out of pocket. You close in 30 to 60 days with seller financing, which the owner likes, so this way you don't lose any deals. Business profits pay the acquisition cost. Whatever deal you commit to is paid for out of the business, not out of your own pocket. And there's a precise way to do this using AI as well. And we have it all in-house and you can have it too. Also, it works for any online business model, okay? Okay, so here's secret number 3, the ownership transition. Closing the deal is just the beginning. How to transition into ownership without disrupting the business. Most people think the work is done once you sign the papers. They celebrate closing day and then wake up the next morning wondering, what do I do now? And the first 90 days are literally the most dangerous days because after a business purchase, that's when value can be lost. Bad transitions can destroy good businesses if not handled delicately. So without a transition plan, key staff leave in confusion, customers experience disruption, you're scrambling to figure out operations, revenue drops as chaos increases. With the ARM5 transition system, existing team stays in place with clear, defined roles and performance-based expectations. Customers notice nothing changes. SOPs and reporting from day one, and revenue continues and it grows. Okay. Now here's the 3 pillars of a successful transition. Number 1, staffing. Keep the existing team. Document roles. Establish clear communication. Also reporting. Set up weekly dashboards and KPIs from day one. Know your numbers. Rhythm. Establish the operating rhythm of the business. Weekly reviews, monthly goals, quarterly planning. And here's how I transition into a new business. Week 1, team meetings. Meet with every employee, understand roles, build trust. Week 2, SOP documentation. Document every process, workflow, and system. Week 3, reporting setup. Install dashboards, key performance indicators, and financial tracking. And then week 4, optimization begins. We apply the 5 profit amplifiers. Now, this is how you own a portfolio, not a group of jobs. Systems over talent, reporting over guessing, rhythm over chaos. When you transition correctly, you own an asset, not another job. And that's what the system does for you. So 90 days, you can go from closing to fully systematized ownership. On one of my acquisitions, I retained the entire team, documented every process, and grew revenue 25% all within the first quarter. So you don't have to quit your day job to do this. Most of my acquisitions were managed out alongside other projects. The transition system is designed for busy professionals. Weeks 1 through 2, you shadow the seller and you document all systems. Weeks 3 through 4, you begin managing with seller still on standby. Weeks 5 through 8, full ownership with automated reporting. The team does the work. You have a team lead that reports to you. And then week 9 plus, you're the owner working on the business, not in it. Not in it. Okay. All right. Are you tracking along? Let me know in the chat. Give me a thumbs up if you're tracking along so far. So each secret here is powerful on its own. Put together, they create a seamless system for finding, financing, and transitioning into a cash flowing online business in 4 months or less. So let's recap. Here are the secrets here, okay? And again, this comes down to the process of evaluate, finance, transition, optimize, and scale. Secret number 1, the evaluation methodology. Know which deals are worth buying. Secret number 2, creative financing. Buy with little to no money down. Secret number 3, the ownership transition. Protect your investment from day one. We just went over all of that. And again, this is all from real experience. 19 businesses acquired, over 30 million in portfolio sales since 2022. And we're one of the fastest growing companies in America. We've been nominated twice over the last 2 years on the Inc. 5000. So let me know in the chat here that you got value out of this so far. And do I have permission also to share with you how I can help you? Let me know here in the chat. I'm going to literally look at the chat right now before I continue. So let me know. Let me know. I'll get some water. Definitely need some water when you live in Arizona. The desert, luckily, it's really nice outside, so I'm not complaining. Okay, awesome. Got a thumbs up. Got a yes, definitely. Great. Okay, all right, guys. So right now, you're at a crossroads, but what if I had a proven system that walked you through every single step, from finding the right deal to closing it and transitioning into ownership? And you literally have 3 options at this juncture. You could do nothing, leave this webinar, forget everything, keep doing what you've been doing, keep watching YouTube, keep researching, keep telling yourself you'll buy a business someday. You could do it yourself, which means that you could take what you learn, you could try to figure it out on your own. It's honorable, but expect 12 to 18 months and potentially 6 figures or more in mistakes. Most people who try alone never close a deal, okay? Or you could join our ARM5 acquisition method. You could follow my step-by-step system. You could use my tools and frameworks, and you could buy your first online business within 4 months, possibly much less than that even, with expert guidance every step of the way. And this is the most popular option. And here's how it works. I put together a complete system that walks you through every step of finding, evaluating, financing, and closing your first online business acquisition. Let me break it down for you. So this is the complete system. We call it the ARM5 acquisition method to take you from 0 deals to owning a cash flowing online business in 4 months or less. And this isn't just another course. This is literally a high level mentorship and implementation program that covers everything from finding your first deal to closing it and growing it, scaling it with expert guidance every step of the way. So here's what's inside. You get access to our deal analyzer and valuation models. This way you could instantly evaluate businesses with proprietary templates. You could input metrics and see revenue trends, profit margins, and suggested offer ranges. This will allow you to stop overpaying for businesses. And the value of this is about $500. You also get access to our due diligence vault. These are pre-built 100+ point checklist, financial ratio calculators, and traffic analyzers, which ensure comprehensive evaluation. And this is the system that's protected me from bad deals for years. You get it. And this is literally like a $10,000 value. You also get legal contracts and deal templates, attorney designed purchase agreements, letter of intents, LOIs, and negotiation scripts, which eliminate legal guesswork. So this way you don't spend $5,000 on a lawyer to draft these from scratch. You can just take our templates and you can use our templates. And the value of this is literally going to save you $5,000 versus going to a lawyer. And then you also get access to our growth and optimization swipe files. This is ready to use marketing assets and SOPs to boost performance immediately after acquisition, the exact strategy that I've used to scale businesses worth millions in potential revenue. The value of this is literally at least $1 million because this is 13+ years of IP, intellectual property from my company. And we've grown, like I said, thousands of e-com businesses one way or another since 2013. And we're adding to this all the time. I literally just added a content engine using agentic AI where I publish 3 articles a day in one of our companies, fully SEO researched, SEO optimized to grow traffic, and it's pretty much hands off. Okay. So it's amazing. So we're adding to this all the time, and everybody in the program gets access. Okay. And then you also get weekly coaching calls. So this is where you can come, you could ask questions, you get answers. These are sessions with myself and Jeff, our acquisitions director. We're both very seasoned acquisition experts. You get real-time guidance on deals, due diligence, and also even growth tactics as well. This way you're never making a decision alone. So the value of this is about $12,000. You also get access to our mastermind community. You get to join a private community of high performers just like you, share deal opportunities, and also you can leverage partnerships with fellow driven, determined wealth builders just like you. And the value of this is literally priceless because it just raises you up when you're around other people that are driven, that can support you, but can also push you and also help you think at a higher level as well. And you also get access to this over your lifetime. Okay. So you remain part of the ARM5 family even after you buy a business. So after you buy a business, you can continue. You can buy more businesses. You can continue to lean on the community. You get access to ongoing community support, alumni events, and also deal sharing opportunities as well. And then to kick you off, you get a personalized strategy session. Right after booking, you'll get a one-on-one strategy session to map out your specific path to your first acquisition, customized to your capital experience and goals. Okay, and again, this is all derived from real experience. 19 businesses acquired, over 30 million in sales since 2022, Inc. 5000 twice, and we've evaluated probably thousands of deals. So we've evaluated a ton of deals. Okay, and let's talk value here. What most people spend trying to do this on their own is they either get an MBA and they learn mergers and acquisitions, and that costs them about $80,000 to $150,000. I know, you can see my MBA behind me. Hiring a business broker, you could do that, but it's going to cost you about $30,000 to $50,000 in fees. Also, you've got attorney fees for deal structuring, which can cost you $5,000 to $15,000. Also, one bad deal due to poor due diligence can cost you a lot. Can cost you $10,000, $100,000, maybe even more. So the total risk without this system is literally $50,000 to $300,000 or more. Okay, but ARM5, we give you everything in one place for a fraction of what you'd spend making mistakes on your own. So let's go through this. Okay, so the total value breakdown here: you get the deal analyzer and valuation models, $500; due diligence vault, $10,000; legal contracts and deal templates, $5,000; our growth and optimization swipe files, $1 million or more in value; weekly coaching calls, $12,000; exclusive mastermind community, lifetime network access, both priceless; and personalized strategy session, which is $1,000. So you've got a lot of value here. You have literally over $1 million in real world value, but I would never charge you this much. Here's the thing. I'm not going to throw a price up on screen and ask you to buy right now. That's not how this works. Every person on this call is in a different situation, different capital, different experience, different goals. So we take a personalized approach here. Your next step isn't a checkout page. It's a conversation, a strategy session where I personally map out a plan for your situation. And here's a quote that I use. I've found that the people who get the best results are the ones who start with a clear plan customized to their situation. That's why the next step isn't a checkout page. It's a conversation. Okay. But this is everything you get when you work with us. Okay. Again, over $1 million in value. But the only asks today, if you're interested in finding out more, if you're interested in buying a business, getting our help, is book your free online business buying strategy session. So this is literally a $1,000 value, and it's completely free. All you have to do is just click the link in the chat to book your session now. Now there's limited spots available. As you can imagine, we only open up so many slots every week to this. So jump on this right away, get on my calendar, let's talk. This way we can create a plan that's customized to you to help you get to your business purchase goals as quickly as possible, as effortless as possible, and as low risk as possible as well. Okay. And your investment, it's protected. We have an ARM5 guarantee in every single agreement with every single client that works with us in our program. When you join our program and you follow the system, you work with our mentors. You use our tools and our frameworks. And if you're not in a position to buy a business within 4 months or less, which is the average time to success, we'll continue to work with you until you close on a business. That's in every single agreement. So there's literally zero risk to work with us. You either get results or we keep working with you until you do. You literally have nothing to lose and a cash flowing business to gain. But wait, there's more. There is an exclusive bonus. I said that there would be early in this webinar, and this is only available when you book your session during this live training. So bonus number one is you get access to our business acquisition readiness scorecard. This is a self-assessment tool that scores your readiness across 5 key areas: capital, credit, time, knowledge, and mindset. And it gives you a clear action plan to close any gaps before you start looking at deals. You also get bonus number 2. This is the first call script pack. Exactly what to say when contacting sellers and brokers. Most beginners blow the deal in the first 5 minutes because they sound like a tire kicker. These scripts help you sound like a sophisticated buyer immediately. And this is very, very important. And then bonus number 3 from my good friend Garrett Gunderson, who is a New York Times bestselling author, Wall Street Journal bestselling author. You also get his Tax Navigator, which is a complete guide to legal tax strategies for business owners, covering entity structuring, deductions, and keeping more of what you earn. Because it's not just about buying cash flow, it's about keeping it, okay? And again, few facts here. I just want to restate, there's 6 million small businesses changing hands right now as boomers retire. 48% of boomers plan to exit within 3 years. And then there's 5 trillion plus in private business assets right now entering the market. Okay. I built this system because I was tired of watching good people lose money on bad deals. Every tool, every template, every framework in ARM5 exists because I needed it first. And if all these people are getting results, isn't it possible that you can too? Of course it is. Okay. You heard from some of our case studies. They can do it. You can do it. And the big one, if you're one of the first people who book during this training, you'll get a personal deal review. This is our golden goose bonus. For the next 5 people who book their session after you sign up for the program, I'll personally hop on a call with you to review your first target deal. You'll get my personal eyes on the purchase from someone who's literally done 30 million plus in portfolio deals, okay? So go ahead, click on the link in the chat to book now. Book your strategy session immediately, okay? And this is everything you get when you join. Again, over $1 million in value. And if you do nothing, literally nothing will change. So keep that in mind. You'll still be thinking about buying a business 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now. But what if you take action today? What if you book the session this week? What if you find your first deal within the next 60 days? What if you're a business owner within 4 months? What if this is the decision that literally changes everything? This decision literally could define your financial future. And remember, we also have a guarantee with every single client we work with. We keep working with you to help you succeed. There's no risk to you working with us, okay? So here's the last chance. Go ahead and click the link in the chat right now. Book your free strategy session. Again, zero risk to work with us, and also get access to all the bonuses that I mentioned today on today's webinar. So I'll go ahead and stop there. I'll address any questions you guys have. So let me know what questions you have for me. Just put them in the comments, and we'll go through them one by one before we close out today. All right. And the QR code on screen that you see, if you scan that, that will take you directly to my booking calendar where you can book. Let me give you a different one. That's actually not the correct one. We just changed our systems. All right. Let me know what questions you guys have for me. Put them in the chat. All right. All right, guys, what questions do you have? Let's see here. Let me just look them up real quick. So here's a good question. Why not just start something from scratch instead of buying a business? What makes this a better option? Well, there's a lot of reasons for that, but I'll answer it. So starting a business from scratch, you're gambling a bit. even if you're the best marketer, the best entrepreneur in the world, there's still a little bit of a gamble, a little bit of luck there. Plus, it takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of money, a lot of resources to start the business, buy products, spend money on marketing, and then there's no guarantee things work. And so you have to continue to test, continue to reiterate, continue to basically work on it, which it can be draining when you're basically trying to get results, and you're not getting results. It could be draining to go through that process, and that drains your energy, drains your money, drains your time. And when you compare the time you put into starting a business, getting a business to success versus just buying an already successful business with the right terms, the right offer, the right structure, there's a faster path there to success, cash flow, joy. It just rewards you faster, and it also gives you something that already has value that can grow in value, because if a business is already successful, then it can grow and be more successful. Whereas a new business, it may or may not be successful. So you're building on something that's already successful when you buy a business, an existing business. And that gives you many more opportunities, because it's so much easier to grow an existing successful business versus starting a brand new business. So thank you, Nick, for the question. I appreciate it. Joanne says, how much is your program? Honestly, Joanne, it's negligible because the ROI is substantial. And plus, on top of that, we actually have a whole financing department. We can get a lot of people approved, even with low credit. So we can actually work with just about anybody, even if you don't have the capital to invest in yourself. So it's really negligible how much the program is, especially when you consider the average acquirer, as I went over in today's presentation. The average person is going to acquire a business that's feeding 10 to 30,000 per month in additional income to them from the business. Okay. So over 12 months, that's 120,000 plus. So regardless of what this is, the ROI is very, very substantial, because it's nowhere near 120,000. Okay. So that's just pure ROI basically. But thank you for the question. Keep them coming. And don't let that stop you from taking action either. And then let's see here. So question here regarding your program, is it more of a one-time thing, or can you use this to buy multiple businesses over time? Yeah, great question, Nick. No, you get lifetime access. So when you're in the program, we guarantee your first business purchase in 4 months or less, or we continue to work with you until you have success. But typically 4 months or less is no problem, as long as you're meeting us halfway. But you're in the program for life, so you can just continue to lean on us, continue to lean on the processes, and we're adding to it as well. Things are evolving in e-com with AI, agentic AI, so we're always adding stuff to the program to support our clients and support our clients that have businesses already. So you can continue to work in the program and buy more and more businesses. There's no limitation there whatsoever. So thank you for that question. I appreciate it. Ron, thank you. Here, what I'm going to do is I'll give you the link directly. Actually, it looks like someone already posted it. Let me just give it to you here. Here, Ron, click on this link. I'm giving it to you right after that question. But yeah, go ahead and click on that link to be able to get on my calendar. I do have some availability tomorrow. I know you were asking about tomorrow, and we can definitely connect either tomorrow or first thing Monday. So feel free to go ahead and use that link. I just posted it here in the comments. Looking forward to helping you, helping you build an empire, because you already have a business. All right, guys, what questions do you have for me? What other questions? Let me know. Put them in the comments. All right. What other questions, guys? I'm going to hop off if there's no other questions to get posted. Okay, Ron, thank you for the feedback. Let me check this. I can basically troubleshoot this right here on the spot. Okay. Refresh your page, Ron. It should show additional times available and days too, past tomorrow. So go ahead and do that and let me know if that's still an issue. Yep. Now it shows Monday, Tuesday. So you should be good. Yep. Sure thing. Sure thing. Let me just take a note of that. Okay. Yeah, Ron, I'll shoot you a text from our office number after this, and we can figure out the best time to connect from there to make it easy for you. All right, guys. I don't see any other questions coming in, so I'm going to go ahead and close out. But thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I appreciate you, and I look forward to serving you, having a massive impact on you in your future. Take action on this if you're seeing this, especially if you're seeing the replay. Book a time, get on my calendar, and let's get you a new business. All right, guys. You guys all have a great day. Thank you so much.